am Jenny Addy, and I'm taking over JD's channel. No. Okay, here we go. No, we're both here. Okay, so for my channel, and for all of you on JD's channel that doesn't know me, I am Jenny Addy, the Gringa Salvadoreña, and I have a company called Living Like a Local that helps foreigners immigrate and live in El Salvador. And I've just started doing relocation tours. So it's like a 1-week immersive tour about what it's like to actually live in El Salvador. Because as you guys know, to visit a place and to live in a place are two totally different things. And so a lot of people come here for all the great stuff that JD shows on his channel, and they think, oh yeah, I want to live there, but it's a totally different ballpark, totally different ballpark. And so for everybody on my channel, I want you to meet JD, and he's gonna help you guys see all about what it's like to actually retire down here from El Salvador. And so, okay, number one, you have to know his channel. If you look up there, it's called JD Off Course at YouTube, and you're also on what? Instagram?
Instagram and TikTok. So you can look for me there too.
Okay. And yeah, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And in your channel, well, here, let's go right now. In your channel, what are the main things you show? You show a lot of festivals.
Yeah, I try to go to different towns. I mean, I've made the loop all the way around El Salvador and stayed at various towns for like a month or something like that at a time, and which highlight what they have to offer. And then I do festivals, parades, and we have special events, historical places, places of interest, just general things you'd want to do if you came down here and wanted to bum around the country and see different things. It gives you some ideas anyway.
And this guy's got guts because you did the balls of fire throwing one, didn't you? I haven't had the guts to go do that one yet. But
yeah, I think that was pretty cool. I walked in and I'd never been to it before, and basically they close off the street, and they have these balls made up of this like wrapped material around something, and they soak it in kerosene for quite a while. And then when the event starts, they light them off, and there's two teams, one on each end of the street, and they'll start throwing at each other. And I walked in, I mean, I didn't know what to expect, and it was wild. It really was. And I said, I'm here, to video this for YouTube. And it was like, oh, come with me. And it was one of the city administrators, took me up to the press area. And so I got to go up there. And then I met this guy from Animal Planet that does all these wild things all around the world. And he was dressed up. He went down into the event, and he was throwing the balls back and forth with these people and stuff. And I'm just surprised.
Did you throw a ball?
Gosh, no. No, I was happy just doing the filming and getting to see it. I mean, every once in a while, a stray one would come out into the audience on either side of the street. And I don't know, I'm a fireman. That's what I did all my life. So I'm thinking, these buildings are going to burn down. But anyway, nothing happened. I mean, other than I think somebody did get burned, a little accident or something like that. And so, yeah, it was a fun thing. And that's like every year they do that. And I didn't make it to the one this year, but one of my friends did. So I think he had a really good time.
Okay, a retired fireman that goes to the Balls of Fire Festival in El Salvador. I mean, I'm surprised we're having like some PTSD kind of reaction of just like, okay, there's fire falling over there, like the reaction of just like, I gotta put it out.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun to watch. The people were great. Just like all these other cities I've been to, the people are very welcoming to me and stuff, and that's just great to see.
Okay, so on his channel, you can see he is fully loving life to the max, but rewind 3 years ago?
Roughly.
Yeah, about 3 years ago, where were you And what were you thinking and feeling 3 years ago?
Well, about that time, I was living in Missouri, and my youngest son was in his second year of college. Smart kid, he knew what he was doing. He had it handled. My ex-wife and her husband were still there in Missouri, so I knew if he had a problem, which his kid is, so he's got his act together, and my other son is there too with his wife, so he's got a lot of support if he needs it, which he really doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, it's time for Dad to go on an adventure. And so I had a full farm. I sold the farm, had a big auction, had they sold everything in one day. I mean, I had a pretty good sized house, and then the people that bought the farm, they wanted all the animals to go with it. So they kept
awesome.
all my pets, my goats, my chickens, and all that. And then went and stayed at Airbnb for like a month. And of course, before that, I was trying to figure out where I was going to go.
Yeah.
And I liked Central America. I'd been to Costa Rica, and I thought, well, I'll come back down here somewhere. And I started looking at all the countries, and El Salvador popped up as the best choice because they had, in the last few years, changed dramatically their safety thing with the police, the military rounding up the gangs and making it safer for families to get out and enjoy this country. And the president is behind that, and that's great, and I support him. And anyway, and then they used the dollar, which was a big thing. I didn't have to do the conversion thing because I looked at like Honduras and Guatemala and some other places, and but this place looked like it. I mean, I didn't know Spanish when I got here. I still don't know very much, but I got hooked up with a good lawyer, and got me through the immigration process and all this other stuff. And I've been here almost 3 years, just right after the first of January, February, somewhere right through there. That'll be almost 3 years. And I've rented houses, I've bought a vehicle, I've made lots of friends, just like Jen, and I really do appreciate all these people being nice to this gringo that is just down here just to really enjoy their country and to let the world know how nice it is and how much change has come to El Salvador.
And okay, wait a minute. So you sold, like, literally sold the farm.
Yep, sold farm.
How long did it take you to kind of wrap things up? Because a lot of people come down here, they'll come on like a relocation tour with me, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about El Salvador," but usually by the end of the tour, they're 90% yes, no, and that's kind of the point. It's like, stop wasting time and get to a surety, yes or no, this is for me. But then they'll go back and they're like, "Oh, I got to wrap up things in the States and like sell things and like that." But you said you just did an estate sale, and just how long did it take to wrap up things?
Well, once I knew where I was going, I started the channel, the JD Off Course channel, and sort of explained my game plan to the 10 people that subscribed to me back then.
Your son,
my sons,
your sons, your best friend, your drinking buddies.
That's it.
Yeah.
And anyway, I told him what I'm going. I didn't tell him where I was going. Just said I'm going to be going on a trip somewhere in Central America. Anyway, once I started that process, I lined up the auctioneer. I had a really great friend that did real estate, and she said now is the time to sell, and she was perfectly correct.
Yeah.
It was the time to sell, and everything just sort of clicked, and started working on the paperwork, and I learned a lot. I thought I'd researched it pretty good, but I found out that I needed more stuff done, and and that's what the lawyer down here told me, and we got it done. So
yeah, that's a lot of people. Well, us gringos, you know, we like to DIY it. You know,
oh yeah,
we like to, you know, I'll go strip out that bathroom over the weekend, you know, and you know, replace the sink and everything else. But when it comes to government and legal paperwork, don't DIY it.
yeah.
Don't. Because like you were missing some papers, right? And so you had to. Did your son have to like send some stuff down?
Yeah, and you know, every time he sends something down, he has to go to like the Secretary of State, get a apostle, and all this other stuff. And it's a little bit of money; it's not much. But then to FedEx it down here, so we get it quickly, is like it's over $100, $130 every time for 5 sheets of paper.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like some people kind of give me flack about, oh well, you know, no, I don't want to spend that much. I'll just get, you know, a lawyer on the side to just do this one piece of paper. It's like you gotta understand, in El Salvador, there's no refund policy. It's like if you pay somebody to do one thing, they're gonna do that one thing, and if that one thing doesn't turn out the way you thought it did, you go back and they say, oh well, this little thing needs to be fixed or needs to be changed. They'll be like, okay, well then you need to pay me again because I need to redo the paper.
Yeah.
And yeah, customer service is it's a different ballpark down here. And I mean that's kind of the main reason that we started living like local was say like, and that's why we don't piecemeal. Sometimes when people say, well, I just want the notary stamp or I just want this one paper translated. And I'm like, no, sorry. Like we do the whole process so we can make sure every box is checked, every document has the right apostille, has the right notary, has the right stamp. Because if you mess that up, like JD said, you are $100 to like ship it down or send it down through FedEx. If you have somebody there that can do it for you. If you don't, then you have to pay an apostille service, and that's another $100 on top of that.
Right.
So yeah, but that's awesome. So you got rid of the farm in what, like a month?
Yeah, it went pretty quick. They were out there. It was a one-day auction. It was during the week, and it was like I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday. And they said they had never seen that many people show up at an auction that's during the week. And they had, they'd advertised it, and I had a lot of automobile memorabilia and stuff like that. And I think that's what drew a lot of people. And then the furniture. I just remodeled the house, so everything was like new because I was like basically flipping a house every 4 years. And so everything was new in the house. And so that helped, I think, on selling it.
Yeah. So you went from a real estate flipper farmer to at what age did you come down here?
I was like 59 or 60.
Okay, so he's about 59. So at 59, he went from a real estate flipper in the U.S. / farmer to a YouTuber in El Salvador, in a totally new country with a language that he didn't really have a grasp of. And now, I think I just saw your YouTube channel. Didn't you just hit 10K?
Actually, it went to 12 yesterday.
Woo!
So
way to go!
It got up there a little bit, and I'm just proud that people want to see El Salvador and learn about it and stuff like that. And I appreciate everybody that subscribes or likes stuff.
So check out the career path of this man. Like firefighter,
yeah,
right? And you're in the Marines. You're in the
Air Guard.
You're in the Air Guard,
right?
And then firefighter, and then
EMT,
and then EMT.
Yeah,
and then the real estate flipping.
And then after the fireman military gig, I was selling antiques like man cave memorabilia, car front ends. I had a bar made out of the front end of a 1953 Ford truck, and it was really cool. And then just other stuff like that, anything related to automobiles or cars or mechanical stuff, and all that time I was, buying a house, living in it, and remodeling it, and then selling it. So I've always been sort of busy.
Yeah. And so then you went into the real estate flipping, and then kind of the farming on the side, or
Yeah.
did the farm animals come with the farm?
No, there was nothing there. I mean, the people that had the house, they were older people, and they were, I think when they built the house, because they're the original builders, they had it built, and they were still able to take care of it, but they became disabled after 10 or 12 years, and the wood started growing up around the house. And so I went in there, hired an excavation crew to go in and just start ripping out all the stuff that had grown up against the house and all. So it was quite a deal, and I had to get fences built, build a barn, and chicken coop, and everything else. And then, by the time I left, the neighbors were loving me because I turned that house into a really nice home, improved property value for me and for them. And it was just, I loved that deal. And when I started that, I knew it was going to take all my time, so I quit selling the antiques and just got out of that business, and so I could focus on the house.
Yeah. And then, so really, you're kind of like a Renaissance man. It seems like you keep on reinventing yourself like every couple of years.
Yeah,
and
like to stay busy.
Yeah, you're. It's like, is it the ADD or is it the just?
I don't know. Yeah,
just love to learn.
Little hopper, I guess.
Just little hopper. Okay, so now you're onto YouTube. You're up to 12,000. That's more subscribers than I have.
Oh, I didn't know.
And I've been doing it, I think, 2 years, more than you have. But he's up to 12,000 subscribers, and he is not the only retired YouTuber that I know of down here. You've even got a couple in your neighborhood, I think.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so it's never too late. And one of the things I love about El Salvador is this is the land of dreams. This is the new land of the free, and the place where you can just do your dreams. Just try it, go at it, work at it, because you just want to and you love it, and you never know what'll happen, ever. And so now JD is here enjoying his retirement. Check out that beach. Yep. This is where JD lives. And his home base while he goes out and does his videos all around El Salvador.
Yeah, I've been in this community here for about a year and a half, getting close to a year and a half, and it's very convenient to everything. It's safe. I've been all over El Salvador, and I've been in places that you'd worry about, but you just don't down here. I've been into Honduras, and I've been down. I took my Jeep down into this ravine looking for a waterfall, and so I'm walking down this dry creek bed, and I run into like 4 guys carrying machetes and everything else, and they're all just, everybody, even over there, were nice to me, and never did find the dang waterfall, but anyway, it was an adventure. And then I've been to Guatemala City and Antigua, Guatemala. There's just so much to see down here, besides El Salvador.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing country, and it's a great, like, I like how you say, like, a home base.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a bunch of, I have a few clients, people that I'm helping move down here, that they're like regional managers over like the area, for their companies. They're regional managers over Latam, which is called Latin America, and they're like, well, why am I living in Miami? Why am I living in LA? I'm gonna live in El Salvador. and then I can take a lot shorter flights and have more time with my family instead of flying from the States. And it's a lot safer here than LA or Miami.
Oh, exactly. Just on the last month, I took one of these short flights that she's talking about. I went to St. Martin. It's an island out in the Caribbean, and there's flight deals going all the time to Dominican Republic, Curacao, Mexico, down into South America. So I mean, that's one advantage of having this airport right here, and them having the local hops or whatever to go explore.
I know a big vacation spot from here is a lot of people go to Colombia. Colombia is like 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's it. And yet it's to go to Atlanta, it's 3 hours. So as whereas before you think, oh, well, I'm in the States. Well, oh, it's so far away. Well, if I'm in Atlanta, I'm going to fly 3 hours to Vegas. Why don't I just fly 3 hours down to El Salvador? You know, and living here, it's like I can take 2 hours to Colombia, go to Medellin or Bogota, and see the mountains there. Or Costa Rica. Costa Rica is gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I call it the California of Central America because you cannot beat the nature. Just like you can't beat the nature of California. Big Sur, the sequoias, it's amazing. But you don't necessarily want to live there.
No, not with the prices. The prices, because I've been to Costa Rica before and stayed down there, and I thought honestly about going there and doing that here, down there, and cost of living had gone up a lot.
Oh yeah,
a lot, and so that sort of knocked it out of the ballpark, out of all the ones that were in the running, I guess.
Did you try Mexico or Panama or?
Yeah, I looked at them and stuff, but there was still too much stuff going on in Mexico, which is a shame because I mean I love Mexican food. And let's see, and then Panama, I just wanted to wasn't overly attracted to it, but I mean it's a good spot, and there's a lot of expats there.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreigners in Panama, but I think one of the big differences between Panama and here is a lot of foreigners go to Panama, and it's kind of just there's a lot of little bubbles, expat kind of bubble communities, and that's really not the vibe of El Salvador. That's not what El Salvador really wants to do, and some of those foreigners are saying, oh, well, that's El Salvador's problem. You can't just come in and get residency like that and then leave the next day. But it's because El Salvador doesn't want colonizers. El Salvador wants people that are truly invested in El Salvador, that want to make this their home, to give to the community, to build it back. Because those colonization days are over.
Yeah.
And it's about time. Oh, look. Hi, Claudia. Jason. Jason, you should totally come down. At least try it.
Yeah, you gotta quit giving me a hard time, Jason. Yeah, you ought to explore a little bit when you get a chance. I know you're working all the time though. Hang in there, man.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing these relocation tours, because I had tons of people on my channel contacting me saying, "Oh, but could you help me? I want to try it, but I don't know if I got the guts." But look at this man. Hello, at 60, he came down here, not really any good Spanish, but he's traveling. He's not letting them stop him. I mean, I know you guys look at me like, yeah, but Jen, you speak Spanish, and
she can.
And you do all this stuff, and you don't get confused. And I'm like, but dude, this guy, and you can hear his accent. Believe it or not, when I was 20, I had that same Southern accent because I grew up in Georgia. Okay, and when I talked, it was "Cómo está?" Muy bien. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But look, Jason's retired now. Jason,
good.
Come on, Dad. I have my next relocation tour is Thanksgiving week for the people that have the week off. I have a 1-week tour. We dive straight into El Salvador culture. everything from the beaches. We see the mountains, we see the beaches, we see the city. We get all into the music, to the food, everything that's out there. And so you can really see what the country is. Because you're going to come here, this isn't Panama. If you kind of want to retire and just kind of sit and have the world serve you because you're like, oh, I did my job. Now I'm just ready to just kind of sit on my duff, sit on the beach and just let the world serve me, then El Salvador is really not your place. I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, you might want to try Panama. That might be perfect for you. Boquete, something like that. El Salvador is for people like JD and people like me that are not done. We're not done with life. We have more to give. We have a lot more to do. And we're here to lift and make things better than the way we found it. Look at that Boy Scout kind of mentality of, leave it better than you found it.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so if there's one thing, last question, JD, if there's one thing you wish you would have known before you came down here, that you wish somebody would have told you about before you came down here, what would that be? So I can make sure I can tell my clients that I'm helping them down.
Okay, well, me and Jason went to school together. So back in the 7th grade, study that Spanish and stay with it all the way through school. that would have been huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely more Spanish. And let's see, there's some comments. Jason says, I understand the president there really cleaned it up and it's a lot safer now. It is. It is super safe.
Thank you, Jason.
And let's see, Albert says, okay, Albert wants to know about renting or buying. And I think JD rents.
Yeah.
Yeah, JD rents a nice house, like 3-bedroom, right? 2 bath?
4-bedroom and 4 bath.
4-bedroom, 4 bath.
Yeah.
With a yard.
It's awesome. And all the time I've been down here, I've done Airbnbs and I've done leasing and everything. And, the only thing right now, the housing market's a little expensive down here because of the security of the country and the influx of tourists and stuff like that. I think some of the people are raising the prices on that, but I think hopefully eventually that bubble will burst and the prices will normalize a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and that's the funny thing is there's a lot of Bitcoiners that are coming down here. But as my current guest that I'm taking around the country right now, I said, why don't the Bitcoiners buying all these beautiful places that they're living in? And he's just like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, they're hanging on to the Bitcoin because it's this thing of like, okay, the Bitcoin goes up at this rate, and then if Bitcoin goes up this fast and real estate goes up this fast, which one you gonna pick? And so yeah, I don't know if Bitcoiners are ever gonna buy, but either way.
I don't know. One of my friends, he's posted on the Bitcoin. I'm not into the Bitcoin. I support them for doing what they want to do. But the Bitcoin has been going up in value, and he's posted it on his page, and it's going up.
Yeah.
And so that's really encouraging for them.
Faster than the real estate is going up, which is really surprising because a lot of places have doubled in value since I have lived here. Like places that I looked at buying when I was down here in 2022, now are totally worth double. And kind of kick yourself for not buying before, right? Yeah. But anyway, okay, there's some more questions. So Mexico, okay, Edgar thinks Mexico is the most gorgeous, but some places like Venezuela have really messed up with Mexico is very risky to live. That's real. Sad but true.
Yeah.
And the U.S. and Canada has many junkies, and we pay the price. Well, Edgar, that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah.
And Karen says, "Oh, hi, Karen. Oh, I can't. Yeah, she's counting down the days until she can come down here for her retirement. And Karen's looking to get a farm down here. Have you ever thought about doing a farm down here?
Well, if I found somebody to settle down with, yes. But Right now, no.
No. He's all focused on the channel. That's what it is. El Salvador is cheaper than Costa. Costa Rica it really is like the California of Central America. It's price-wise, corruption-wise, beautiful, nature-wise. It is. You can't beat. Sorry, Edgar. Mexico is gorgeous, but Costa Rica has so many biospheres. It's gorgeous. Anyway, okay. Jose says, I'm going to try to go live in El Salvador. Karen's like, you got that right. Okay, so if you want, and last question from Jason, how would you rate the cost of living there to the States? I always say that El Salvador is like Hawaii, the big island, but at about the quarter of the price. So, because if you ever been to Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii, it's very similar as far as the volcanoes and the flora and the fauna. It's about the same as the big island.
Yeah.
But price-wise, it's about the quarter of the price of Hawaii. And Hawaii is at least double the price, maybe triple the price, depending upon where you are in the U.S.
Yeah.
So if you follow my channel and JD's channel, we show you guys all the time, like grocery trips.
Yeah.
We show you guys like hotels, going to the beach, going out for parties. JD's a big one for showing the nightlife. Sorry, I'm married. I'm not big on the nightlife. I make my own nightlife. JD's the one that can show you all the nightlife.
Now, I did go home for Thanksgiving this last year and went out to Popeyes. I think it was went to Popeyes to get some that spicy chicken that I've been missing. Anyway, the price had gone up in the United States just there, and my son Landon had been telling me that for him and his family, which they've got 4, that McDonald's was getting very expensive to eat at, and I showed him how much it was down here to go to McDonald's, and it was a lot less.
But what was the difference? Was it like half, or maybe 40% less, or about how much was the difference?
About 30% less, anyway.
So he says it's about 30% less than the McDonald's in the U.S. was going to McDonald's here, or you can say like an 8-piece of chicken here versus an 8-piece of chicken.
I just did like a quarter-pounder meal. It was like quarter-pounder meal here was like $5 or something, and there it's like $8 or $9.
Yeah, and if you live like a local, like I kind of promote in my channel, if you live like a Salvadoreño, and you eat natural, you eat at the mom and pop places, you shop at the mercado instead of shopping at the gringo places, you can live super cheap.
Yeah.
Super cheap, like that 2,000 or less a month. Yeah, and you can live nice and easy for 2,000 if you don't live like a gringo. Now, Mr. JD here, he's living a little bit more gringo than Salvi. Your house ain't no Salvi house.
No. It's more a U.S. style kind of thing.
Yeah. But when it comes to the food and the fun, it's so worth it.
Yeah, they've got a lot to offer, especially in San Salvador. There's if you like rock and roll, they've got it.
Yeah.
Nightlife, they've got it. Festivals and stuff like that down here. There's always something to celebrate, which is great.
Yeah. Heck, they make up festivals. Like after adopting Bitcoin is like the 15th and 16th of November, and then the very next weekend, Berlin, which is one of the hubs of Bitcoin, they made up a Bitcoin festival for the 23rd up in Berlin, and that's where we're going to kick off our next tour. So first of all, go to @JD Off Course, and you can subscribe to JD's channel and see all the super cool things there are to see around El Salvador. And you can go to Living Like a Local. That's living without the G. There's no G. Living Like a Local in El Salvador for my YouTube channel. And go to my website and you can sign up for one of the next tours. I have tours for families and tours for retirees or, childless people, digital nomads, retirees. So you can come down and really get the contacts you need, get people you can trust. because that's a big one, especially if they don't speak the language. And really get a good bearing on what you're getting into if you're seriously looking about moving south, because life here is good. I am Jenny Addy, shining my light so you can shine yours. And this is
JD, of course. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye-bye.